All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday evening. All right, I hope you guys have been sourcing the past few days and making some good money. So welcome. I am jumping on for the evening. I'm going to be showing you guys some online arbitrage methods that I feel like not very many people actually utilize. And I feel like when you are able to either find items that other people aren't finding or use tools in new ways, you sort of create these, we'll call them moats around you. It's like barriers to entry for your products. So if something is hard to find and you have to jump through a bunch of hoops in order to find it, there's just a lot less people finding it. And when there's a lot less people finding it, then you're dealing with stuff like price tanking and all of that significantly less, okay? So we're gonna dive into this as I'm going along. If you guys want to, if you haven't signed up for Sourcing Camp, it's coming up on Friday. It's basically this on steroids, okay? So there's like 50, 60 hours of just like sourcing with sellers, myself included. I'll be there sourcing for you guys, but it's like you're watching over the shoulder of these 6, 7, and 8 figure sellers, just sort of seeing how they do what they do and seeing what sites they go to or what doors they walk into if they're doing RA, being able to pick their brains and all of that. So it's going to be a great time, but I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff tonight, even if you don't sign up for that. Okay. So let me see. Let me share my screen here. We're going to enter the matrix. Whoops. We're going to enter the matrix here for just a second. There we go. All right. I'm going to put stream over here on this screen so I can see. And I'll probably do that. There we go. Okay. So I am going to be using Keepa tonight. Now, I've done lots of videos of other cool tools, and there's lots of great tools, especially if you're doing online arbitrage. Keepa is one of those, like, this is as close to as a tool can get to a must-have. I'm assuming that everyone watching this video has Keepa. It is by far, like, no questions, no contest, probably by a factor of like 5, the most used tool by online arbitrage sellers, because it does so many things that you need that no other tool can do. Now, I'm not going to be talking about all the cool stuff that Keepa can do. I've got a whole YouTube channel where I've got, I don't know, like 10, 15 videos diving into Keepa. What I am going to show you is 2 interesting sort of paths that we can take using the Keepa product finder. And I feel like most people don't use this section of Keepa. So if you go to keepa.com, okay, so we're just going to open up a fresh window here. This is keepa.com. And if you guys have any questions while I'm going, feel free to drop them into the chat. But if we're going to keepa.com, we're going to click on data and then product finder. Now, our goal is to find products that are selling that are likely to be profitable. And I think that's something that a lot of people get caught up on, especially when they're just starting to use the Keepa product finder. They're like, okay, well, I found all these products, but like, what good are finding these products? I have no idea if they're actually good. So we're going to try to add in a couple parameters to help increase our chances of finding stuff that is profitable right now without doing a bunch of extra, like, oh yeah, you got to stack all these discounts or whatever. Without trying to stack all that stuff, we're going to find some things, okay? So there's a lot of stuff on this page that you can put in. I haven't like preset this or anything like that, so I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip here for a bit, if you'll bear with me. I want to look for something that is most likely selling. Usually that means it's going to have a sales rank. So let's put an average sales rank of say like 1,000 to 300,000 in the past 30 days. Now, I am looking actually for something really specific. So I'm going to add in a second filter. So this is the average in the last 30 days. I'm going to add a second filter. That's 180 days, and I'm going to filter this out. I want the minimum to be like 150,000, and I'll let the maximum be 1 million. There we go. Okay. Next, and I'll explain why I'm doing this in just a second. Next, we're going to scroll down. You can skip most of this stuff. You're pretty much never going to go in there. We're going to go to the categories, and I'm going to go to the grocery category. The next thing I'm going to type in is the word egg. Okay, now why am I doing this? Because I am looking for something that is Easter themed, that I can go to my local stores. I could go to Walmart, I could go to Publix, I could go to Meijer, I could go to H-E-B, I could go to whatever your local grocery store is, the Piggly Wiggly, and pick these up right now, list them. Ideally, you could even list these FBM, ship them to your customers, boom, make the sale like before the end of tonight. Like I want you guys to be able to get off this call, drive to a local store, pick up a couple of these things, ship them in or send them, sell them FBM tonight, okay? This is sort of my goal leading up to sourcing camp. I wanna help people pay for sourcing camp, okay? I don't care about the brand or any of that stuff. New offer count, I generally want to see a couple offers. So let's say there's like at least 2 people selling it. All right. Now we went from 1,500. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but we went from 1,500 products to 381. I'm just going to, that's a manageable chunk. We can go through that here. Let me actually, because I've got the QR code up there in the corner. Let me take that QR code off so we can see a little bit easier. Now, with this, there's obviously quite a few things here. It's like 381 products. Most of these products are going to be unprofitable. Okay, so I'm going to sort this by their price, and it's just unlikely. Like if this is selling for $6, I'm not going to bother scanning it because my chances of being able to get it so cheaply that I will actually make money selling this for $6, this is not going to happen. Okay, now, once we start going up towards like the $9.99, or then we jump up a tier, we start looking for like the 14, 15s. I'm going to skip some of this stuff up here because this is just probably too far above what we are looking for. But once we get down in sort of this area and we can start to see some of these like multi-packs, things like this, food triangles, that's not quite what we're looking for. That's just pasta that happens to have egg in it. I'm looking more for Easter things. This one, that kind of looks like a private label type thing. So we're going to keep on going. I see a lot of noodle things. Again, I'm not really interested in the noodles. Here's something that is pretty interesting. Russell Stover's, $43 for 3 of these. To me, that looks pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm going to just right click on this, copy this. And let's see if we can find this Russell Stover. Now, I'll probably need to delete a little bit of this. Oh, I found it, the pack of 3. Because we're not looking for a pack of 3. We're going to be buying this as a pack of 1 and bundling it all together. It looks like my local Walgreens has this for $6.99. Farm and Fleet might have this for, let's see, 6-pack. The package looks a little bit different, but if that matches up, they might have it for $4.79. Let's say $7 is our best, or is our sort of worst case. And let's just say, just for the sake of a faster video, let's just say that this matches up. So this is like our best case price, worst case price. We'll run it with both sets of things, okay? So let's pull this up here on Amazon. I'll just click that little A button. All right, now we got to run some numbers on this. So if each one is 7, so 7, 14, 21, $21 into $42, I'd say we've got a good chance of this being profitable here. All right, 21 into, and actually 43.37 is the buy cost that this is getting right here. Because there are a couple different sellers. Yeah, we're making about $5 profit. The ROI isn't the highest. Now, how heavy are these? 9 ounce. So if you did FBM, I'm just going to flip this over here. If you did FBM and your shipping costs were about $8, yeah, profitability goes up a little bit. You're at just under 40% or $7.86 profit per listing, okay? And I think you could fit 3 of these in one of the small, either like shoebox size things or security boxes, whatever you're using. Yeah, I think that this is very reasonable. Sure, you might get a shipment every once in a while that's like $12, but then you also might get a couple shipments that are like $7. So generally, I'll use like 8 or 9 as my base assumption here as far as my cost goes. But yeah, this is, I would say that this is profitable. I wonder if I can share. Ooh, I have an idea. All right, I'm gonna share a freebie with you guys on top of this. So just a couple days ago in our Facebook group, I gave away 50 websites. Sorry, I'm pulling up the link here over on the other window. I gave away 50 OA websites that people could use to sort of start doing some OA. And so this is like, if you're kind of stuck doing Walmart and it's like, okay, well, there's not a whole lot here on Walmart. I need to kind of branch out. Let me share this here. Let's see, share that there and share it over here on YouTube. Okay, so this is, and I'll pull it here on my screen. This is a sheet of 50 websites. I'm going to add a secondary one. Rename this free leads from 325. All right. So let's pop this in here. And actually here, I can even press this little fancy button. Copy row. I'll paste it right there. We've got item, rank, sale price, buy cost, profit, and then ROI percentage. All right, beautiful. We'll make it look a little bit nicer as well. Okay, there we go. So there's our first one. You can buy this wherever. I'm not going to put like a store link because ideally you're probably going to go in store, look to see if you can find this like buy one, get one free or on sale, something like that at a local store. But most of your local stores will have this Russell Stover marshmallow eggs. It's not like a hard to find product by any means, okay? All right, so there's one for us. That should make you some money, I think. Let's see, Cadbury Dairy Milk Chunky Eggs for 42. That is stupid expensive. But I mean, sure enough, it just started to sell again. So let's pull this one up. Here, I'm gonna move you guys over here. And let's do a little search. Right in here. Peter, any bundling issues in pack of 3 if it's not manufacturer bundle? Well, you can't make them anymore, and Amazon has been going through and trying to delete stuff, but if that listing still exists, it has survived many rounds of deletion. So for me, I say list away. You can't really create new bundled listings in the grocery category, but if it's still there, in my opinion, it's fair game. That's sort of how I run this. All right, 400 grams. It's probably, yeah, that's 2 ounces. 8 ounces. What are we looking at here? 400 grams. So it might be that one. 400 grams, 2 ounces. Let's just look this up real fast. 14-ounce container. So it's not that one. Let's take this part out. We'll see if this finds it for us. 14. Yeah, I think that was, yep, 14.1. All right, Poppin' Candy. Now that looks like a UK website. So you'd have to confirm that that they would ship to you. Ooh, out of stock. Dang. This could be a really interesting website though. If they do carry this that cheaply, I would probably save poppincandy.com to a master sheet such as this. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to add this right down here to the bottom. There we go. Poppin' Candy. All right, that's what I like to do. Anytime I'm sourcing and I come across a new, looks interesting. Free UK shipping. So yeah, you'd have to check to see if they ship across the ocean, but they do show those in the dollar signs. And yeah, they have a US version right here. So they've got to have shipping across the pond, so to speak. Let me see. There's a 400 from McGogger. 400. All right, it looks like this is about 30 bucks. So I don't think we're gonna find this profitably, unless you find this like buy one, get one free at a local store, or unless this place comes back in stock at 21 bucks. Doesn't look like that's gonna be too profitable. Let's see. Ooh, this one looks interesting. Yeah, it's that's a very unique. Oh, it's a stupid. I'm not going to list on this because it has one of these stupid sticker things. Don't ever do this. The breach of the TOS. Number of pieces 3. Well, there's 3 sellers on it. Let me check historically. Tonic. 'Tis the season. Okay, so Tonic. Looks like 'Tis the Season and Tonic have been on every year for the past 3 years. But originally it was not them. So I think that back here in like 2017, somebody made this listing, and I don't know why they put this little Happy Easter picture there, because you're just buying those 3 things. That confirms number of pieces. There's 3 things. There's no mention of anything here. Easter gift bag, Easter hunt, spring treats. Yeah, there's no mention of it there. No mention of it there. No mention of it down there. Huh. All right. Yeah, I actually changed my mind. I think this is probably actually okay. But don't create listings like that. That's just, it's bad. All right, let's try Zittner's. I don't know how to say that. All right, I see him from Boscov's. 9 ounce. Is that what we're looking at here? 9 ounce. Yep. All right, so our buy cost is probably $8 a piece. So 8, 16, 24. That one's not quite what we're looking for. Let me see FBM here. Whoops, shipping cost of 8. Yeah, it's not great. You really have to be selling it more for that 42. All right, so we're gonna pass on this one. Probably the same there, unless you can get this cheaper. So like if Boscov's, oh, actually, you know what? Here's what we'll do. You could get 15% off opening a card, which could be useful if you're going to shop at Boscov's a lot, which I do. I like Boscov's. But let me check some cashback portals. All right, now we're talking 8.08% cashback. Does that change this? So if we get 8% cashback, we can multiply this by 0.92. That makes a big difference. Now I'm going to check one more thing. Let me go to cardbear.com. We had a friend that showed us this recently, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. I haven't used Cardbear in ages to sort of search the different gift card websites. All right, so we've got some discount gift cards here available from Raise. Now they call it GCX, but it's Raise for those of you guys who've been around the block for a while. 16% off, 14, and then 11 and a half if you're kind of buying in bulk. Let's say this 14 and a half because they've got a couple. They've got 4 of them for $50. So that's $200 worth of these. That's quite a few. So let's use that in our calculations. Okay, so let's see. We start at 24. We are going to first we're going to take the cash back because we just earned that on what the receipt says. So 0.92. And then we're using discount gift cards at about 14.5% off. So we're going to take this, multiply that by let's see, 14.5 is 0.855. So 1887. 1887. Now we are looking pretty good. Yeah, same with FBM. All right. That's one that I would say is profitable. Now, you have to stack your stuff. You can't just buy it at face value. Where are we going? Over here. You can't just buy it at face value. You have to incorporate these extra steps that your competition isn't doing. And this is part of the reason why I feel like so many people kind of almost flunk at online arbitrage. Like they take things at face value, or they don't push the limits at all. They don't try to squeeze out all the margin they possibly can, because this product is not profitable unless we are able to create our own margin out of thin air by using the cashback, by using the discount gift cards, potentially even using that 15% off. If you sign up for their credit card, that's another additional 15% off that you could do on top of that. Okay, so there's lots of different options here as far as that goes. Okay, all right. I think my chat is frozen. So if you guys have questions, my Facebook chat is not working. Let me see. Test. Yeah, my Facebook chat does not work until I type something. So if you're watching on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel. Let me try to link that for you. Head over to the YouTube channel so I can actually see your comments here. All right, and if you're on YouTube, post a comment for me real fast so I can see. Just say hi. Okay. Let me see. I'm going over here. We're just gonna pull the link, and I will share this into the Facebook group. There we go. All right. Okay. So yeah, head over there, and that'll make things much easier for me so that I can actually see your questions. Hey, Lauren. Okay, perfect. Yeah, YouTube's working. Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. The ranks are shown right here. Now, ranks for these, this is going to be very misleading. Someone asked, what was the rank on that? Okay. When you are looking at seasonal products, the sales ranks on these things, they will not make sense. They're not going to look normal because people aren't buying them like 11 months out of the year. It just sells right here, but we see every single year, no sales, no sales, no sales, no sales, and then boom, right here during like February, March, April, plenty of sales. All right, same here, no sales, boom, plenty of sales, no sales, boom, plenty of sales, no sales, boom, plenty of sales. So right now, this is where we're at. It's currently ranked 100,000 in grocery, which is decent. This is probably, if I had to guesstimate just a grocery product ranked 100,000, I would guesstimate that sells about once per day or once every other day. All right, so probably 30-ish sales a month on something like this. And you can rabbit trail off of this. Okay, so we found this one product. Let's see if we can find, here's another little trick. So I'm just gonna kind of rabbit trail with you guys here live on video. Because again, I said, I'm just kind of shooting from the hip tonight. Let's rabbit trail off of this. Let's see if we can turn this one lead into more leads. So I'm gonna click on the brand here. And what this is going to do is this opens a new Keepa product finder window, KPF window, where it has automatically input the brand Zittners. It hasn't input anything else. If I want to input other stuff, I can click up here on advanced filters, and I can go back and I can start putting more stuff, and I can put like an average sales rank, or I can put a buy box. Like let's say we only want to see things where it's at least $9.99 or higher. All right, so that eliminated half the products, and now we've got 24 things to look through. Okay. All right. Yeah, I bet a bunch, because our buy cost, wasn't it like $6 on these? Holy smokes, that one's crazy. This one's crazy too. What in the world? Coconut cream chocolate covered eggs. Yeah, let's search Google. Someone asked if I ever used Google Lens. Yes, I do. I enjoy Google Lens quite a bit. All right, yeah, here it is. Coconut cream, right? That's what we're looking at. Coconut cream eggs. Dark chocolate covered 8 eggs. Yeah, so $8 is our buy cost here. And this is from Boscov's. I'm quite sure that you can also find this locally. It's not like this is the only place to get this from. That's probably third party from Walmart. Oh, you can get it straight from Zittners themselves. There we go. All right, so there's, I'm going to add this one to our list as well. Put this on our master sheet. Okay, so yeah, a couple places that you can buy this from. Let's just go in assuming that our buy cost is $8. I think that's quite reasonable. This is before any coupons, discounts, things like that we can get through Boscov. So we'll run it just with this $8 buy cost. 62% ROI, $5 profit on every single one. This is going to be a great FBM product. You can see here this gold section right here. This is giving us hard data. We know exactly that this is selling a minimum of 100 units in the past 30 days. This is not an estimation. This is Amazon giving us hard facts. It has sold between 100 and probably 199 units in the last 30 days. Okay, so this listing right here is crushing it. And if you can get these for $8 a piece, it's huge. Now, a couple things that you should do here. First, go and buy some and go and flip these. This is under a pound, right? Yeah, 9 ounces. So this will cost you like $5 to ship it, FBM. All right, so $5 FBM, you're looking at almost 70% ROI, about $5.50 profit. So really solid stuff there. And you can sell a freaking ton of these if you can find these locally somewhere. All right. Now, this has existed on Amazon for 4,000 days. I don't want to look at 4,000. Well, I guess I kind of have to. Here, let me zoom in to a manageable chunk. Now, every year, no one sells it. Once like July and August, October hits, like, okay, everyone's out of stock. But once we get into like February, March, that's when everyone comes on the listing, okay? And then they all try to sell out right before Easter. Now this year, it is by far the highest it's been. So 22 is kind of currently our average. It looks like most other years, it's like $9.99 or $18. So what I might want to do on something like this is I might want to set an alert for myself for the new offer count to be 2 or more, okay? And then I do like Easter and then put like $8.99 for my buy cost, or $7.99, whatever it was, okay? And remember, so like the $7.99 is our base price. $7.99 times, remember we get 8% cash back, so times 0.92. And then we can get discount gift cards for 14.5. So times 0.855, if I'm doing my math correct. All right, 628. And maybe we even get that 15% coupon from Boscov. So we'll do another 0.85. So our buy cost is really closer to $5.34. You've just manufactured twice as much profit. We went from about $5 for each of these to $9 for each. We went from 50, 60% ROI to 170% ROI. Like, this is massive, being able to stack these coupons, stack these cash back, the gift cards, everything on top of it. This is how you beat your competition. This is how you get around people tanking the price. This is how people can afford to tank the price, because now I can afford to sell this for $12, $11. Yeah, I'm still making profit. If I have to cut this price in half, I'm still making 5% ROI. Now, do I want to make 29 cents on this? Heck no. Of course I don't. But I can, because I've built in that much margin that I no longer have to care about, like, oh, let me make sure this doesn't tank. No, this is an Easter product. It's only good for a very short amount of time, so I better get as many sales as I possibly can. I don't care what anybody else is selling it for. I don't care if I beat everyone else by a penny. I want to get as many sales as I possibly can in the next 30 days, because after 30 days is done, this listing is done until next year, okay? And that's why we set this little alert for ourselves down here, all right? So start tracking it. I might even do this for 10 years, okay? So as soon as there's more than 2 listings of this, I'm gonna get an email and I'll see that every single time, okay? All right, and yeah, so that was just one rabbit trail. If this one's profitable, this one should be profitable. So the buttercream should be good. Even these are going to be slightly profitable. The double coconut should be all right. Once we're getting down to this one, you're at like $1 or $2 profit. So it's okay, but nothing to write home about. Okay. And yeah, there's a bunch of double coconut. This one's at 28. Is this a 2? Okay. Yeah, this is a 2-pack. So this might be interesting. Let's just check this real fast. So yeah, if our buy cost, this is like the crazy, let's just say it's the 628, because that's like the normal good stacking, not like you got the extra 15%, but the normal good stacking without the 15% is 628. So I'm going to use that as our base cost. We'll check this 2-pack here. 628 times 2. Yeah, it's not great. So I don't know how this person is doing it. Maybe they were doing it well up here at like 32, 33, and now they're just like, all right, well, that moment has passed and now we're moving on. So I don't love that one as much. That was for the 2-pack. These both look fine. I like those. This is a 3-pack. It shows that little picture, but I saw it, there's a couple of these that have that little picture, and I saw no reference of that anywhere. If you're worried about it, you can print a sheet of paper that looks like that, but there's no reference to that in the actual listing, so I'm not as worried about it. Also, the original creator of the listing, the person who put that sticker, is no longer selling, so I'm not worried about someone trying to like hit me with some bogus IP complaints. All right. Yeah, it looks like this tonic person and this mulberry person they're onto this. All right. They know what's up. And you know what we can do when we start seeing things like that? Let's just click on their shop. Okay. So you see how like we started with something. We started with a Keepa product finder search. And then we put in some parameters where we could find some Easter like FBM candy that we could ship right now. And then that brought us to a brand. Then we dug into that brand. So we found even more things. And then after finding even more things, then we started to notice some patterns with the sellers. So now I can dig into the sellers. So like this, it's just rabbit trail after rabbit trail after rabbit trail that we're able to find here. Yeah, they're selling a lot of Zittners, Home Select, some Lint, mostly the Zittners. Let's try Tuscum. Is this a grocery brand? I don't recognize the name of that. And no, I don't really want that. Oh, is this going to delete? Sometimes Keepa, when you press the back button, it like breaks their system. Okay. Oh, it's almost. There we go. Lint, got a couple of these limited edition things, blueberries and cream, limited edition. That one is stupid expensive. $23. Let's just see if we can find this anywhere real fast. All right. After this, I promise I'll go back into finding. Oh, there we go. $7.19. You can get 5 off of 50 plus. So if you make your purchases in increments of about $50, this is about 10% off. So really, our buy cost is 10% less than that. $7.19. Yeah, that one looks solid. That's pretty much a 3x multiple. Now, aha, this is interesting. So I do see it here. When I clicked on the listing, a lot of people are going to be turned off. It's like, oh, no, it's listed at $8 through Amazon Fresh. Yes, it is. Not everyone in the country has Amazon Fresh. Actually, most of the country does not. And that is why there are 26 people that are on this listing right now. Instead of just Amazon as Amazon Fresh, there's so many other people that want this, that are trying to buy this. Now, I'm going to do just a little bit of a verification here. So I see a couple people selling this FBM. Usually these prices do not include shipping when it's like that much cheaper than everybody else. Yeah, the buy box is coming in at about 25 when it has a buy box. And now it does not have a buy box aside from Amazon Fresh. Let me look in here. Sometimes you can see. I'm just looking for shipping costs. Oh, they do have free delivery. They're probably got 7 left. They've got 10. They've got 20. Okay, there's a bit of competition here. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. 375. Let's, yeah, I don't think at 1375. Yeah, I don't think that's flipping. Now, this person has it listed for 23, but outside of just like back here in February, I don't see it. I am curious what the expiration date of this is, because obviously, like, this is a spring, it's a limited edition spring flavor. So you see limited edition there. I think it says spring somewhere. Yeah, spring Neapolitan white chocolate. Okay, so this is only available here during like February. Let me look the last couple years, what happened afterwards. So I see the price tank pretty low here in March, April, May, to about $10. After May, about the middle of May, so a month and a half from now, it goes back up to 20. Now, and then you kind of get into the second big sell-off of this is expiring, and so now some people are really trying to move it. But if we could sell this for 20, and we're getting it for it's like $6.50 roughly after coupons and stuff like that, I could see that. Now, it's a little bit riskier currently, so it's like a short-term buy and hold. So buy this now, and list it for your desired price. I would say like $19.99 is decent. You would make some money with that. Maybe don't go super deep on this. Get like 5 to 10 of them. But if you get 5, 10 of these, your worst case scenario is, all right, well, you got 5 little things of chocolate that you got to give out to your mom or whatever. Like, it has a pretty decent downside because you're just stuck with some yummy chocolates. But it looks to me that after all these people sell out, if this has an expiration date of, say, like 9 months out, and you can make it all the way to September, you can make some bank here during like Christmas Q4 time. Look at this. Like, these people, they're listing it for $19.99, but I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to have the shipping included in that, and it's going to bump it up to even more. So I kind of like this as sort of a buy, set your price, and hold it there rather than a repriced product. So I'll put this into our list, but I'll put a little asterisk for probably set at about $19.99 and forget about it, FBM. All right. Okay. So I showed you just a little bit. And again, I'm trying to like touch on a couple different topics because this is really what Sourcing Camp is all about. How it's just like session after session after session of people doing this, but going so deep into one specific thing, like so deep into whether it's storefront stalking or Keepa product finder or specific tools. Maybe someone really loves to use Nepetto, or someone else really loves to use tactical arbitrage, or someone really loves to use XYZ, or maybe they're selling on Walmart. And so like they're showing you how you can buy things and sell them on Walmart, or how to source simultaneously for both Amazon and Walmart. Because like in 2025, Amazon's done some crazy stuff. And so being able to diversify and mitigate your risk like that is going to be huge. So yeah, we've got tons of sessions there. There's a QR code up there if you want to scan it. If you have not yet signed up for Sourcing Camp, let me get a link to, in case you're like on your phone and you can't scan that, put a link here and put a link in here. Okay, now I want to do one more thing with this Keepa product finder, show you something that people usually are not really doing. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. Now, I love doing Amazon to Amazon flips. And there's lots of different ways you can do this. In fact, with Keepa, you can even click on this deals tab, have some like preset stuff in here, and find some really fast A to A flips this way, like this Children's Place shirt. Well, no, that's not a great example. Here, actually, I'm going to stay here for just a second, see if we can find something here for you guys. Because then I'm going to use this to show you how you could find this with a Keepa product finder. All right, ProKids. This looks promising. So basically, I was looking for a product where usually the price is up here. And for whatever reason, today, over the past couple days, the price has dropped by quite a bit. So I can see usually the price is about 70 bucks. And ever since, I mean, February, it dropped to 30, March, it dropped to 30, and now it's at $17.75. If we can sell this for that $69.95 price point, whoops, sorry, we got to flip these around. And we're buying this for $17.75. We're making 171% ROI, 30% profit, okay? This has existed for 2,500 days, and it's almost always at this, I'll say 65. Let's lower this a little bit. So it's almost always at the $65 price point. So I'm very confident that it will not stay down here at $17 for very long. Once they sell out, it says they've got 3 in stock. So my guess is once they sell out of these, it'll pop back up to the normal $65 price. Now, boom, here's an easy lead. We'll add this to the list. You should, if you're ungated in that, you should make some easy money. I'll put A to A flip. But now how do we find something like this and sort of fine tune a Keepa product finder search to find this type of product? Okay, so I'm going to note a couple things here. I'm going to note the cost drop. I'm going to note the number of sellers. Does it have some reviews? Yeah, it's got some reviews. Are the reviews increasing? Yeah, the reviews are increasing. We can see here it went from 183. We're currently at 197. So this is actually selling quite a bit. It's getting, usually it takes about 100, 200 sales to get a review. That's a lot of reviews since December. I mean, that's like 1,000 sales easily since December. So what we're going to do, we found that with the deals tab, which is great. But I want to kind of fine tune this a little bit so I can kind of flip certain levers and negate certain products that I don't want to see. So let's go to the Keepa product finder and let's put in something that will find a similar product to that. Okay, so for this, our shoe had a sales rank. It's at 155,000. So let's put an area, let's say 50,000 to 200,000. All right. And let's put the buy box. I'm going to put somewhere between $5 because right now the buy box was $17.95. I'm going to put between like 5 and 30. But I'm going to put the average either 180 or 365 day price. I want to do it 45 to 80. Okay. Now, what did this just do? Well, this just took it where it's usually somewhere between this range. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Oh, no. Hang on a second, folks. Let me backtrack just a hair. Okay, so we were in the deals page. And we were looking at, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Gina. So we were in this deals page. just in one of my presets. And I give all these presets that I have, I give these to all the Sourcing Camp members. If you join up with Sourcing Camp, I'm happy to share all my different Keepa presets with you. So I just scanned through here and I was looking for either like a brand name that I recognized or something with a couple sellers on it. All right. And that brought us to this shoe right here at $17.75. We can see here, there's the average price. There's today's price. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we're all caught up. Yeah, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Brian. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to find this with the Keepa Product Finder. Okay, so we're in the Keepa Product Finder again. Put a rank of 50 to 250. All right, today's from 5 to, let's say, about 20. But the average from, I'll change this a little bit. Let's say 35 to 70. All right. I also want to add one of these percent drops in there. So like in the past 90 days, how much has the buy box dropped? I want it to drop at least 50% in the last 90 days. Okay. Now, this has brought us down to only 3,800 products. That is pretty solid. Let's add in just a couple more parameters, a couple things that we can't do in that deals page that I can do here. I want to do the offer count. I'm going to change this, okay? I want it to have at least 2 people on it because this is going to negate almost all of those stupid private label listings. And now we're at 650. That is a very manageable chunk. Most of these things should be fine. If we want to narrow this down even further, here's what we can do. Remember, don't press the back button. That'll erase everything. Press the advanced filter. Okay, that'll bring you back to this previous screen. If we want to filter down even further, something else I might do would be the number of, where is it? Review count, all right? So let's say reviews, I want this to have at least, I don't know, 20 reviews. All right, now we are under 500. Okay, so that made it even better. So this is products where the price has dropped 50% or more and it fit those various parameters. There's at least 2 sellers on it. Let's see, we've got a music disc here. Usually goes for like 40 and now it's going for 18. Very interesting. If you are ungated in CDs or, oh, this is a vinyl. It's not even a CD. New from 18 from Amazon, temporarily out of stock. These, it's kind of like your mileage may vary. I'll usually try to put an order in, but sometimes it'll go through and they'll honor the price. Sometimes it'll get canceled. You never know exactly what you're going to get, but let's see, 1807. Would I take a risk on this? Let's say an average price of about 34. It's kind of high risk, low reward. So I probably wouldn't take a chance on that. This one, that kind of looks like a private label product still. Columbia, I like. Let's look at these graphs. The graphs look okay, but we are kind of leaving the cold season. So $16 into like 35. I'll check it. We'll run the numbers because it'll only take us like 10 seconds. But I'm not sure if this has quite enough meat on the bone to be profitable. All right, so I'm just looking historically what this price is at. I see 36 and like 44. All right, so let's do like, what's the upside, what's the downside here? Best case, worst case. We'll do 36 as our, it says average price. Yeah, 36. 36 right there, we make nothing. What if we can get it for like 45 or sell it for 45? Then you're making some profit. So, I mean, it's got, I don't love the downside because you're basically making nothing. It's got a decent upside, but we're leaving like winter, we're going into spring. So I feel like a lot of places are going to be clearancing this out and it's probably not going to be selling as well. So I don't know. I don't love that one. I would move on. If you got that and flipped it, I'm not going to fault you. And in fact, you'll probably make some money on it. It's just not quite there for me. It doesn't quite do it. I'm skipping. Yeah, so like this, it says Eulogia. So obviously we're skipping things like that. Magnesium oil spray. I don't see this ever selling for $90. That doesn't make sense. Lord of the Realms, a video game. Not very popular. Probably not actually selling for $60. Those are probably used sales. Nah, pass on this. So my face is kind of here. Let me move my face to the side a little bit. Because really, I'm looking at these Keepa charts. And again, I want to see something where the price is historically pretty high and today it's low. This one, the price is kind of in both places. It's not like, today is not an abnormal drop. We're kind of going back to the normal price. This one, you probably can't sell that one. You're probably gated in that. DVDs. Ooh, this one, 16 into 50. This one could be decent. It is playback region sold in the US. Playback region 2. How do I know that? What part of this listing tells me? Huh. That's very, that doesn't make sense. Everything here looks American to me. Whoop. Let's reload this. Because it looks to me like we can buy this for 35. And then it doesn't sell frequently, but every once in a while we'll get a sale at about 40, 45. And that's pretty decent. Now, that is all 4 of these combined, so maybe that's like the 4K version getting some sales. I don't know. I might take the risk on that one. I would want to double check. It is a third party, which I don't mind buying from. I just got to make sure that they are legitimate. Okay, so yeah, this is a real place. They've got plenty of reviews. Perfect. All right, so yeah, I'm good. I'm good purchasing from them personally. Yeah, I think I might take that risk. How many do they have in stock? 15 in stock. That is a fair bit. So you're kind of risking here. I'll put this on our list, but you kind of have to either buy them out or hope somebody else buys them out. 15 units before you start making sales. Because they will absolutely get the sales before you. There's also the weird playback thing that I haven't seen before. I'm not sure how to like verify that because listen, if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's I don't really trust Amazon to always get it right and tell me the correct information. So I don't see anything here that indicates, maybe the format? I don't see anything that would indicate that it doesn't work in the US. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's see if there's anything else in here. I'm kind of skipping some of these. And you know what? Let's increase this filter a little bit. So I put 2 sellers, but I'm still seeing a lot of other private label sellers. Let's increase this to 3 new offer count. All right, this should almost entirely get rid of all private labels. Now, we're gonna be skipping some stuff too, especially with like random shoes or bits of clothing where there's only like Amazon and Zappos on it or something like that. But there should be crippling women's 19 into 40. That looks interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So you'd have to, Gina, if you guys go for that DVD, just make sure you double check that stuff. I'm not super familiar with DVDs. I do not flip very many. And I have not seen that warning. All right. Looks like this usually goes 43 to 55. So let's flip these numbers around. 43. Yeah, plenty of profit there on our low end. And you might even get more for it. Tons of reviews, so we know that this should be selling. Holiday waves. This could be, so some people are like, oh, you got to check like which variations. If it has 1,000 reviews on it, I mean, that's just so many. Holiday waves. It has 0 reviews. So yeah, like this one is not selling as much as the blacks or whatever. Yeah, obviously this plain black one is selling the most, the plain blue one, and then the plain red one. Then everything else is selling a little bit. So you can see like 6 reviews, 1 reviews, and a couple of these with 0s. All right. Would I take a chance on that? Yeah, they've only got 3 in stock. I'd take a chance. My downside here is that 43, especially if you're doing something like FBM and you can just let this sit on a shelf. This would be easy to flip on eBay or Poshmark, those places where more of those like handbags and things like that can sell well. So I think you could have multiple exit strategies for this. Overall, I like it. All right, so let's add this to our list. And let's see if we can find 1 or 2 more. We're coming up on an hour. I wanted to keep this at about an hour. So let's see if we can find any more for you. 17 into 50, that seems solid. With shoes, we want a little bit of extra cushion to account for returns, especially on women's shoes. The return rate on something like this is probably going to be like 15 to 20%, unfortunately. So like 1 out of every 5 that you sell is probably going to get returned. And unfortunately, 1 return on this is probably going to cost you about $11. Even if it's like then resold, it's just like $11. It's just gone between like the shipping charges that you don't get back and fulfillment stuff and return fees. So we got to make sure that we've sort of built that into this. Now, I see Amazon selling this for $85, but the buy box is usually about $43. All right, $9 of profit. All right, so remember our math there. Actually, this is a great time to use ChatGPT. Okay, so let's do some fun math. We'll let ChatGPT do this. I get about let's say 20% return rate on the shoes that I sell. And a return costs me roughly $11 regardless of if I resell it again. Let me see, what are our numbers on this? It makes $9.50 of profit. Be enough to cover my returns. Oops. Okay, so we'll let ChatGPT do this little math for us. Perfect. All right, so yes, when we account for everything, we should make about $47. We're going to expect to get 1 return for about $11, which still leaves us with 36. So average profit per sale at 7.5. Okay. If this said 7.5, would I still be okay with it? Yeah, that's still solid. That's like 40% ROI. Here, maybe we can fiddle these numbers around to get that 41. Yeah, this is about what we would be looking at, the profit and the ROI percentages there. Okay, so yeah, all in all, I like it. I think it's decent. There's one for us. All right, so I'll put that down there. Okay, so hopefully I've shown you guys, we've like scratched the surface on a bunch of different stuff, okay? Again, this is what we do all of sourcing camp. It is 10 days of this. We usually start, it's every single evening. So we'll start at about 5 p.m. and go to like 10:30, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time almost every single day. And it's not just me. Like, sure, I know a lot about Amazon. I know a lot about sourcing, but I don't know everything. And there's a million ways to make $1 million. Some people love doing FBM. Some people love selling on Walmart. Some people love doing things manually. Some people love using all the tools available. And so like, there's so many different ways to do this. So I bring in, right now we've got 15 other, we call them camp counselors, 15 other people coming in that are going to source for us. We'll get to watch over their shoulder. We'll get to keep any leads that they send us. I've been sending out leads because, all right, so camp starts on Friday. And I recommend you sign up before camp starts so I can actually get you in on time. But for the people who are coming in early, every single day I've been sharing leads and bolos with the group. Just someone the other day was it was like this morning. They said that they went to one of the places that we were talking about. I think they spent like $1,000 on products that should have cost them about $3,000. So like already they've made $2,000 of just manufactured profit for this one lead that we shared. So that paid for this sourcing camp and basically any sourcing camp they ever want to come to ever again. So we're trying to make this as easy of a decision as possible. I understand like there's people it's like, that's a lot of money. I totally get it. And if you don't have enough money to buy your own products right now, then spend your money on your product. But if you have enough money to buy products, come to sourcing camp and I will just straight up give you enough leads to make your money back. And then on top of that, you get all the education. So it usually ends up being about 50 to 60 hours of these breakout sessions. They're all recorded because I don't expect anyone to be able to spend 50 hours over the next week just with me sourcing. That would be insane. Usually we have like one person who's able to come to like all of them or 99% of them. Very few people come to all of them. So it's all recorded as well. So you can come back and watch it later and you get to keep those recordings forever. You get to keep the leads, all the different tools. We've got a bunch of different discounts for different tools. We've got like Nepedo, for example. They're coming in. They've got it's stupid the coupon that they're giving us. So like if you are looking for new tools, you're like, oh, maybe I'll try this, maybe I'll try that. Come to sourcing camp. We'll show you them in real time, like real sellers actively using it, not like promo demos that you see on YouTube, like, oh yeah, you got to get this. This is the best tool ever. No one at sourcing camp is going to tell you that anything is the best tool ever, because we all understand there's a million ways to make $1 million. There's the tool that I like to use, and I'll share why I like to use them, and then somebody else will use other tools. Somebody else will use a third set of tools. Somebody else will use no tools. Like Randy comes, he like doesn't even use a repricer. He's like, I don't like repricers, even though I've always said like, oh, you got to get this. So there's so many ways to do this. That's what I love about sourcing camp. I always learn a ton because like I'm there with you guys. Yes, I'm presenting, but I'm also there as a student, as a camper, watching all the other sessions. So every single time we've got a ton of knowledge that I'm able to pick up, even like those little things. So if you're like a beginner seller, all right, we've got you covered. We're going to get you caught up and then kind of blow your brain with the other stuff. But even established sellers, like it just takes one little tip. We had something, again, I'll use Randy as the example. There's this one thing that was shared in a sourcing camp last year that Randy hadn't heard about. And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, wait, what? And he started doing some math and he calculated it out. And over the course of that year, it saved like this one little tip, like, oh, just do this one little thing differently. That one tip, I think it was like $2,100 or $2,100 that he saved over the course of the year. Just like one tiny little, just do it that way. He's like, why didn't I ever think of that? And it saved him, which in turn made him so much money because he's doing this at scale. So even if you're 6, 7, 8 figure seller, like you are in good company. You're with like-minded people. Most people coming to camp are large sellers. We're happy to bring along beginners, and I'll do some beginner sessions to sort of get people caught up. But the main sessions, like we're not going to water this down. We're not going to be like, oh yeah, we'll show you the fluffy stuff, but sign up for our $7,000 course if you want the real stuff. Like, no, that's not what we're doing at all. We're going as deep as it gets for everybody. Hopefully we'll get the beginners caught up so that they can dive in. But yeah, 6, 7, 8 figure sellers, come on and join us. You're going to be with the right people. If you guys have any questions, I can stay on for just a couple minutes. Feel free to drop them into the chat. Let me see. Gina over here on YouTube. If you've never attended, you need to be there. The content is amazing. The speakers are totally transparent. Move your business forward in a huge way. Yeah, I completely agree. Even my own business has grown from this because I learned something new, especially like, I'll say especially this year, like the Amazon climate has just gotten a little bit hostile this year. Like it's a little crazy out there. And so learning more ways to do what I'm already doing, because you got to have backup plans. If if you've only ever done Amazon one way, there's a decent chance in 2025 that Amazon just shut that way down. And so we're learning multiple ways. We're expanding into other areas. So we're expanding into things like flipping on Walmart. We've got a bunch of sessions about selling stuff on Walmart, expanding into other, it's sort of like, I call it scaling horizontally. So it's using your skills, it's using your talents and then stacking them on top of each other so that you can kind of break into other avenues where it's not directly selling stuff on Amazon, but it could be use these skills to sell stuff on Walmart, or use these skills to another session that we're doing is like the Amazon influencer program. How do you make videos for Amazon without being an influencer, without any sort of following, without any sort of Instagram, nothing like that? How do you make money from, like, I've made $1,500 just posting videos onto Amazon in the past 3 months. And I don't do a good job. I don't know what I'm doing. I came into it knowing nothing, and I'm just gonna fail forward. And so that's what I did. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. We've got someone who does a lot more. They're doing like $9,000 a month making videos for Amazon. But yeah, like we've got so many different avenues that we're going to be diving into in Sourcing Camp. So I'm really excited for it. If you guys come, I'll be excited to source with you. And if you don't come, that's still cool. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you made some money from the flips that we shared, or at least learned some methods, or maybe some Keepa filters or something like that you want to try to play around with. So let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, let me know if you learned something. Let me know if it's like, oh, I never thought about doing that. All right, put that in the comment section below. Otherwise, I will see you the next time. I'll try to do at least one more of these videos before Sourcing Camp, give you a little sneak peek, do some more sourcing with you. But I'll try to do one more. Until then, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Hustle on, everybody.